Snapfire is a hero with a pretty high skill cap, yet it's pretty easy to do the basics, but if you want to maximize your damage output and a bunch of other little tricks, here are 20 tips that will hopefully make you a better Snapfire player. Number 1, you can use your cookie to go up and down terrain. This is not just useful information, but it's really important to utilize it whenever escaping from the enemy. Here are a few good jump spots, and one thing that a lot of people don't really talk about is that you can jump up onto a cliff and then teleport away. It's like one of the most ultimate escapes. Number 2, you can break trees by landing with your cookie. This might not seem like much, but you can actually break the trees near the tier 1 and mid lane and radiant side for stacking or faster farming for your mid lane. There's also one that's on the dire side that's quite similar to this and just allows better mobility movement around the map. Number 3, in the scenario where your creep wave is pushing, you can actually use one of the cookies on a creep and it'll jump them forward. The main advantage of doing this is that you don't have to commit your own position, yet you can still get that stun onto the enemy. It can be a good setup for a kill sometimes. Number 4, if someone in your team buys Ewells, or even yourself, you can use a Ewells combo and stun, kind of similar to Lina and Lightstrike Array. Number 5, Little Shredder versus normal attacks. The general rule of thumb is that Little Shredder just does more damage and it's easier to hit in the laning stage, so it's a very good way to harass, mainly because of the attack range and the fixed attack speed. Yet later in the game, if you don't have attack damage build, you end up noticing that it's not that effective of a skill, and the attack slow is a lot more valuable, especially against physical damage carries that require to attack over and over again. Number 6, auto attacks can actually be really bad. You want to turn it off, because if you use your little shredder stacks on a creep by accident, that's wasting and lowering the amount of harass that you could have gotten on an enemy. Number 7, your ulti is a really good combination with a lot of long duration stuns. This is very obvious if you've played the hero a couple of times, but some of the really good combinations are Legion Commander with her Jewel, you have Mirana's stun with her arrow, and also Wind Ranger's shackle shot. 8, your main combo early on is Cookie, Scatter Blast, then Little Shredder. The reason why is because you want to put a cookie in, you jump. Then you have a stun for roughly around 1 to 2 seconds. Then you can get a scatter blast, and you also get that bonus damage at a close range, so you're maximizing your damage there. At the same time, Little Shredder is giving you attack slow, but why do you want an attack slow on a hero that can't attack when they're stunned? So you don't want to combine and like stack them on top of each other. Number 9, your Scatter Blast plus cookies for clearing creep waves. So often you'll see people use a Scatter Blast and then they'll think, oh, I have to get a Maelstrom to be able to farm quickly. But if you use your cookie, it's often just good enough for a long part of the game. 10, your ultimate is actually a channel spell, so it can be cancelled by stuns or silences. When you're moving your camera around so much in the ulti, you want to make sure that you're prioritizing looking at the heads up display of your negative buffs. This can be a really good way to identify if you're after getting silenced or stunned by an enemy, or even just taking damage in this part of the UI as well. Another thing I want to add to that is that you can stop your ulti by pressing the stop hotkey. I don't know how many people don't know that, it's unbelievable. 11, positioning. You don't want to use your ulti when you're standing in the front lines because it has like a minimum range, and if you're in the back lines is often where you want to stand. But people are a little bit smarter. They're going to pick heroes like Riki or Klink's Bounty Hunter even, and they're going to be hunting you down. They're going to know you're going to be standing really far back. So once you notice, you either want to invest in a Ghost Scepter or else you want to stick closer to your team and focus heavier on your position. 12, if you've killed all the enemy heroes nearby, you want to use the rest of your ulti to finish off the neutral camps that are nearby. 13, your ulti does most of its damage by hitting an enemy rather than thinking about the lingering damage or blocking someone's path. The lingering damage only lasts 3 seconds. It might seem a lot on paper, but it really isn't that much in game. People are not stupid enough to walk into it either, so you really want to focus on hitting it, and then you get some lingering damage as well on top of it because they're kind of standing in it by default. 14, the level 25 talent of plus 8 globs actually gives double speed of the globs coming out. You have a total of 8 and then you get 8 more, so a total of 16, and it's the same channel duration of 6 seconds. 15, your ulti damage falls off late game because people buy magic resist and you have a lot more ability. So it encourages you to play this playstyle that has a low cooldown going around finding kills, similar to playing a hero like Kunkka. 16, you can stand at the top of the stairs and wait for an enemy to come by, and as they're walking up the stairs and they can't see you, you jump on top of them, similar to what people like to do with Shadow Fiend's ultimate. 17, you can use Little Shredder for courier snipes. There's more of them, you get really fast attack speed, and you can kill them really quickly. 18. Steal neutral stacks with your ultimate. This pretty much counters stacking and any strats that are out there for stacking. You place one ward down into the jungle and you see a couple of stacks and you just throw in your Mortimer's Kiss, boom boom boom, all the creeps are dead. Really easy, a great way of farming, and the enemy can't really do much about it. 19. Hold on to your cookie in some team fights. You don't want to jump yourself so far in, and if you don't stun anyone, it's kind of just a useless spell. You're better off to hold on to it and just save your allies, or even just try to save them. It's generally very good against these spells that have AoE crowd control like Chronosphere. 20. You can use cookie on controlled units. This is going to blow your mind, but you can get Necronomicon or even Helm of the Dominator and make that unit jump onto the enemy. You can even use other people's units, like Lycan, get his wolf, the invisible wolf, and jump on enemy. You could get Riki even jump on enemy. There's so many possibilities. This hero has a pretty big range of stuff that you could do. So if you have any more, please tell me down in the comments. And if you want to ascend to a greater cognitive ability, you're going to listen to this bonus tip. You want to know why? You get Pudge. You jump him up onto the cliff with your cookie, and then Pudge has just enough range to hit that rune at the radiant side, so boom, you pull someone up onto the cliff. Easy Katka, easy first blood. So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you subscribe.